Morning everybody, Dee here from the Rustic Garden Retreat. I'm headed off to the store real quick this morning. I have the air conditioner running on high because I have a feeling we're going to lose power later today. My little town is scheduled to get over 5 inches of rain today, according to ABC 13 this morning. It's like 6:30 and I'm going to run to the store real quick because I have a craving for pizza and I'm going to be stuck at home probably for 2 days because by the end of Monday we might have a total of 8 inches in my small town. So, oh, by the way, this is where I got my hair cut too. I didn't go the shortest. She talked me into this one instead. And we'll do it in increments. I might go shorter if I decide I like this. And thus far I do. But anyway, I'm headed off to the store. There's how that's looking. We got some rains last night. Not very heavy. But what's coming today will be. So I'm going to run go get my pizza because today's Mother's Day and I've told my kids to all stay home. Bad weather's coming. Mama will feel better if they're at home because they would eventually have to go home to go to work tomorrow. So I'm going to go fetch a pizza. I spent yesterday with my daughter and we worked on her flower bed and helped a friend of hers buy a car. So, and I have some more plants to go in there and I'll show you those later too. So I'm off now to the store. I'm running these to the nursing home. It is Mother's Day and I figured they could use them on the table. They told me to be sure to bring them some more. I used to take a lot of flowers to them, but this year I didn't get as many flowers going. You know, I wasn't feeling well and I spent all my energy in redoing all my beds, putting contractor bags in the bottom to help with the drought, which, you know, I thought they would flood and float away the soil in there. And even my squash, they're not suffering from powdery mildew. They're doing beautifully with the contractor's bag and they're holding water in. I don't understand it. But anyway, let me get these up there because they won't be any good after the rains here in the yard. So I need to take them today where they can do the most good. Bring a little joy to some people. See, the squash plants are very happy. No powdery mildew on them, which to me is baffling. And there's contractor bags in there. There's some zucchini on that one I see. My one that's climbing up, my butternut squash, is producing a baby. I was excited to see that. My grass needs mowing. I gotta get it mowed, but it's been too wet. I need it mowed so I can spray the yard for mosquitoes. Well, off to the nursing home and then to the store. I thought I'd share with you real quick. I just came back from Walmart. Thought I'd share with you something I found on the side of the road. He's cute. I don't know what he was doing there. He's not cracked. I'm going to use him. I bought some plants. I'm going to show you my plants in a little bit. I spent about 25 bucks on plants. And some of them have little wicks on the bottom. Now, see, generally speaking in Texas, you don't want any standing water, so you don't pour any more than what your wicking plants are going to need into the bottom of something. But I'm going to set them in here because I'm not ready to plant. But I thought he was cute. Apparently he had a lid at some point. But he was just laying there on the side of the street, on the side of the road, not in front of a house, to the side of a business. And I drove by him and then I was like, that is cute. Let me go see what that is. So the Lord gave me a Mother's Day gift. Thank you, Lord. And I gave myself a Mother's Day gift. I was going to go to McDonald's, but they didn't have a good breakfast app right now. And he said, and this is still kind of warm, that they had just pulled the apple fritters out. They're fresh, made today, fresh out of the thing. They're just draining. They're still warm. He didn't run it through the microwave because if he'd run it through the microwave, it'd be as warm as my boudin kolache. So I spent $6 and something on breakfast, which is actually cheaper than McDonald's, guys. Yeah, isn't that sad? So let me get this stuff in the house and I'll show you what else I got this morning. The Lord, well, I'll show you a couple of things. Maybe it's not the Lord, maybe this one's the devil. $3.27 off of their donuts. I mean, off of their little cookies here. They had a bunch of them. No, I didn't buy a bunch. I only bought one package because I saw them and I was like, those kind of look like vanilla wafers. And they kind of look like sugar cookies. And today is Mother's Day. And I don't have any dessert in the house. I love a good cookie. And I thought, for $1.21, how can I pass up on that? You know, they used to be a dozen. Now there's 10. Half moon cookies. But best if used by today. But I'm not going to eat them all today, guys. That would be rude. And my pizza that I went for, the Lord gave it to me on sale. I saved $2.10 on him. I'm going to add a bunch of mushrooms to him. And I have those peppers in there that I haven't used yet. Yeah, that's going on here. So let me get inside. Once this rain moves out and I get my yard cut, I bought these this morning. This is my favorite mosquito killer. And it will also cut down on the fire ants in the yard. And I got a bottle for my backyard and a bottle for my front yard. And this guy I hang on to. Sometimes you have to replace him because this thing breaks. He's kind of stiff. But it helps if you spray him with a little bit of oil before you start using him again if you haven't used him in a year. And this stuff will last for a couple of months in your yard. But you hook this guy up to your water hose. And this is a concentrate. And it is great for the yard. And I will spray it at a time. I will not spray the top, the flower heads. I just spray the ground cover. And I do wait until after the grass is cut because I don't know if you can tell it out there, but I have a lot of clover and I don't want to kill the bees. So I also wait for the ground to be drier, which is after a cut. So anyway, I got this today. It's triazicide. You see, it's my favorite mosquito killer. And you can spray the fence over there, her fence, because they like to hide in the fence. And that will help cut down on this mosquito business I'm suffering from. This is the other thing I bought. It's called Sportsman Smooth and Dry by Off. It is wonderful stuff. I tried it yesterday at my daughter's house, and when I got home last evening, I went out in my yard to check on a couple of things, and the mosquitoes swarmed me, and they landed, but they didn't bite. They just jumped right back off again. They did not. No attacks. I'm thrilled with this stuff, and the fact that it goes on dry, it doesn't feel icky like sunscreen does sometimes. And I got myself some Tang. Yes, I'm from that generation. I'm trying to get off that orange soda from McDonald's. I've gotten in a bad habit of getting an orange soda at McDonald's. And I got me some garlic bread because I'm going to be stuck home and I'm going to make some lasagna or spaghetti either tonight or tomorrow. But at the very least, garlic bread goes great with salad. And I got a lot of salad too. And for free, because I used my card that I got with Medicaid that gives me Medicare. From my Medicare card, it gives me $40 to spend on medicinal stuff every 3 months. I spent $6 on my Epsom salt because apparently I took my other big bag I had here and I used it on my stumps out back. Because if you drill holes in your stumps and pour Epsom salts on them, it will help to kill them and break them down faster. And so I apparently had used my entire bag, probably on the big sweet gum trunk, you know, because I cut down 5 trees last year. And I don't want to pay to get them grinded if I don't have to. So anyway, I got an 8-pound bag of him because I wanted to soak in some Epsom salt. If you have little body aches, sometimes just soaking in a bathtub with Epsom salts really does help because your body absorbs the magnesium and it helps with the pain. And I really need that. So today, for Mother's Day, I'm going to fix myself a bubble bath with some Epsom salts in it. Some magnesium sulfate. I keep a can of mosquito repellent by my front door and by my back door. But by my front door and my back door, I also keep wasp and hornet spray. Because I have covered porches on both sides. And I tell you, you really don't want to have to go look in the garage in the pesticide department when you see that the wasp have moved in with a new nest. It's better just to keep some by the front door, which I do. Now that's a heart attack on a plate. A fresh apple fritter, boudin kolache, and a glass of milk. Thank you, Lord. Well, this is my $25 worth of plants. I still had $64 left for my birthday, and this is what I bought. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think I'm going to count all of it off of the 64 because $5 of it is pity plants. And you might say, oh, what is a pity plant? It is a plant that you take pity upon, so you take him home because he's dying. So let me show you my pity plants first. I got 3 lily turfs for $1 each. I just took pity on them. I know that you use them as a ground cover, but I sometimes stick them into the center of a pot with some low growing plants. They're going into a pot. So $3 on some lily turf and $2 on some marigolds. One has already died in each of those pots, so they're down to only 3 living. They need a new home. So I spent $5, and out of $5 I got 3, 6, 9 plants. Well, this guy may still be somewhat alive, so maybe I got 10. I don't know, that's pretty mushy. We'll see what survives. Those are pity plants. I'm not counting them as part of my 64. I just took pity on them and brought them home. You know, it's like some people bring home stray dogs and stray kitties that they find. I can't do that because of my respiratory issues. But I do bring home stray plants. So, brought these home. Let's get to the ones I actually went to buy. I just realized I had a mistake in my calculations here. It's $30 if I count the pity plants. This ran me $25. Yeah, I wanted to get that straight. Let me show you what I got at Lowe's. I got a Dieffenbachia. Isn't he pretty? And he's been well watered. He's heavy. And instead of the $13, I paid $7 for him. And I will subdivide him into 2 pots like the ones on the front porch. Yeah, I love a Dieffenbachia. It's one of the first plants I ever got when I got my own place because you can grow them indoors. I love a Dieffenbachia. And noticed that most of these plants have the little cord on them to where you can water them from the bottom. But he'll go into a pot. He won't stay that way. And I got myself a little Easter lily. That's what I call him. I'm not sure if that's what he really is. I've always called him an Easter lily. And I paid $4 for him. Yeah, $7 for that, $4 for him, and $4 for this guy because he was on clearance. And he is an autumn sage, which means he will go out there with my salvias. So I can't pass up a decent looking salvia plant. And you know the weird thing is, I was looking outside at their plants that are on clearance, but these I found inside on clearance, and they were in much better condition than the ones that they had sitting outside. And these had recently been watered as well. They're all wet and have their little wicking system in place. Is that thing called an Easter lily? Exotic angel. Well, he's called an exotic angel. I always refer to him as an Easter lily. I guess I'm wrong. You just see him so much around the churches at Easter time. Oh well. Now, that container has a little bit of glitter in the bottom of it. I will bet you anything that he was out in trash pickup and the wind probably blew him down the street. And that's how he wound up where he was. But he was sitting upright just like that. And I thought when I passed by that that was lattice work. But when I went back, it's solid. It's definitely Christmas, but it might do for a wicking tray. You know, you wouldn't want to fill it full. But it's a good pot for soaking plants when I buy them. Pity plants that really need a good soaking. So let's move on to my Houston Garden Center plants. This thing, if I'm understanding its title, its label, is called a Gumfrena Las Vegas Purple. And he's an annual. I only gave $2 for these. They have a special going on at this time of the year. It's not really a special, it's something they have a high number of plants for $2. They're not on clearance or anything, it's their regular price. And he's going to get really tall, and I like the purple in him. I can't put him in a pot. He'll go in the ground out there, but he is an annual. So he's $2. This little, what's left in this pallet thing here is all of these plants rent me $10. This guy, he's growing out the bottom. I will, after the rains pass, I will plant these. This guy, I don't know how you say it. He is a perennial. And in fact, I think that I'm going to plant these two together when I plant them near each other. Because this guy will get to be, come on, get into focus here. Well, he needs 24 inches. And this one is going to need a foot. And oh, the other thing I liked about this one was, look, he has 2 plants in him. I got 2 plants for the price of 1. So each one of those plants actually only ran me $1 in there. He was a pot with 2. Thank you, Lord. An extra plant. Always look for those. And notice here, you would think that this one is a twofer, but he's not. He's actually connected down in there to the other guy. But that's okay. He was actually fuller than a lot of them. So I brought him home. And those 2 will go in the ground. This will go into a pot. I believe this is called a vinca. Yeah, he's a vinca. And he's going to get to be 14 inches tall, but I still plan on putting him in a Dolly Parton pot. I've got one with his name on it out there. He just doesn't know it yet. Yeah. And I got me some more Torinias. This is one of my favorite porch plants. And I picked this one because he actually has, yeah, he's really full, but he's got more than one kind in him. I went back, this is what I went to look for, was some Torinias. I've always had a baby blue Torinia in with my mix. But this year, I am unable to find a baby blue, which is very sad to me. I like the mix of the baby blue in there. He just stands out in a pot. But given that they didn't have any of him, I did pick up one more because I needed, it takes 3 really to fill a basket. Well, not a basket, but a pot on the front porch. And I had only bought 2 the last time because I was leaving spot for a blue one. And I planned on going back, which I did, to see if a blue one didn't come in stock. Because when they do, they go fast. Because they're a real pale blue around the edge. And they're just so beautiful. They really are. But this one had 2 different kinds in him. And I thought, well, why not? This one here, the white one, he is a little different than the other ones. You'll notice that the bloom is roughlier, and it's got yellow striping coming up it. I don't know how well that pictures. He is called something tropical Torrenia. I don't remember, sun tropical or something like that. I have 2 different kinds now, so there'll be 4 different colors in my pot out there because this one has at least 2 plants in him. One that's white with yellow and the pink one. This is the height that he will get to be. He will fill more than 8 inches. It will be a complete bouquet. So, I love Torrenias. I really do. They are just, the butterflies will come and flock my front porch for the Torrenias. And it's hard to get a butterfly to come in out of the sun. And this guy, I don't really like him. And no, he's not a pity plant. He's a memory plant. My mama called him rose moss. They call them portulicas. Portulaca? I don't know how you say it. When I look at this and I look at marigolds, I think of my mother because she always had both of them growing. She grew these on the tops of tree stumps. She would wrap this wire mesh around the tree stump and fill it full of dirt and grow rose moss on it. And I can remember as a kid her sending me out there every time this little thing dried up, the little seed pod, and having to collect these little tiny round little black balls of seeds for her to plant the next year. And all of our tree stumps, they did not cut them down to the ground. Mother had the trees cut to where they were like maybe not quite waist high, maybe thigh high, and wrapped in mesh so that she could grow rose moss in them. So there's my plants that I got. So the total is $30 on them, but as I said, I'm not going to count the pity plants. Oh, I forgot to show you my dustbin plant. Let me go fetch him. These are my dustbin plants. This is some lantana that grows down at my daughter's yard that she is taking out to put in Mexican petunias because she does not like lantana. And so she removed them. See, some of them are struggling. I think she had them too close to the sun. When you remove a plant from the ground and you are keeping it in just water, you can't place them directly in the sun, and I think he got too much sun there. Or maybe she took too long to get him in water after she removed him from the soil. But these are my trash bin plants, my dustbin plants I call them. And this guy right here actually did come out of the dustbin. You know, one of those things that you sweep the floor and you sweep it right into the fold down dustbin at Lowe's. He was over 2 foot long. And I asked the guy if I could have him. I mean, because he was there, he was like 2 foot long. I don't know what he is. I have no idea. If you know what he is, tell me what he is. But I brought him home and I cut him down to his separate limbs. And as soon as I find out what I did with my root tone, I will get him potted up. But for the last day, he's been hanging out in this pot of water. And he looks much better than what he did in the dustbin, believe me. He's got some perk to him now. I don't have any idea what he is, but I am sure that he is a plant because he came from out inside of Lowe's. They swept him up off the floor. And I asked the guy if I could have him. He says, sure, we're just going to put that in the garbage. I just hadn't had a chance to do it yet. So, don't steal, guys. Don't pinch plants. Ask about them if you see them going into the dustbin. He let me have this guy, and there are 3 cuttings in there. So I should get at least 3 plants going. Maybe more because this guy is so long. I don't know what they are. I'm going to call them dustbin plants because that's what I'm calling this whole little section. My dustbin plants and my pity plants. And the ones I actually went out to buy. No baby blue Tyrannias, but the Lord must want me to have these. When I don't get what I want, I tell myself the Lord must want you to have these. This is better for you. And then I don't feel sad. So I'm only counting the 25 off. So I still have another about 30. Yeah, 35. No, this is 25. About 30. No, 40. I still have $40. If I'm counting this as 25, I still have $40 to spend at Buchanan's. Yeah, I didn't have any caffeine this morning. My brain's not working very fast. Besides that, it's Mother's Day. Give me a break. So anyway, let me get these watered and put back out on the front porch because I'm not going to do any planting today. The rains are coming back. I'm going to tell you a true story real quick about my mama and her favorite rose plant, rose bush. You may think this sounds really strange, but every fall when we were starting to get our first frost, Mother would make me go and dig a trench beside her rose bush, her favorite yellow rose bush. Then we would dig the rose bush up and we would lay it down in the trench and bury it for the winter. And pull it out again in the spring and set it upright. That's how she kept it from the freeze in the winter time in Indiana. Crazy story, huh? And it came back every year, beautiful as ever.